these recordings to the platform so you guys can rewatch some of the previous videos that we have. We'll get that sorted shortly. Now, guys, for today, we've had a pretty bullish day for gold, right? Obviously, we had a bullish momentum during the federal funds rate, couple bullish candles out there, right? Which is, again, it aligns with the overall analysis, right? Gold has been pretty bullish so far, and we've had this extended consolidation range that we've been in, right? Between 4,200 and 4,250-ish. So now we're not breaking out of the range just yet. We're still touching these highs on a daily time frame. It's important that the highest daily candle is around 40 to 40-ish. So we're above that right now. So we'll see if we can keep the bullish bias going. But again, I'll try to do something different tonight, rather than having just one trade per session or a couple trades, We'll see if we can get more scalping opportunities in, quick in and outs. Just because of the market conditions, we don't know whether it will continue going in one certain direction. So we'll just try to zoom in on a smaller time frame and get some nice trades from there. Okay. Now, if we have some beginners, same as last time, do let me know if we have people who've been or here for the first time. But we don't have a lot of people for the night, so will be a nice stream overall, cozy. So for tonight, right? I just marked up the daily open candle. I see Hayan there. Hayan, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you on the stream. Hopefully you're doing good. So we will we will mark up the daily open so far, and we'll mark up the 1 hour candle, which again, I'm not going to mark it up because it aligns with the weekly open, right? So we have the weekly open line right there. So I'll just keep that as is. Okay, 1 hour candle. We're getting pretty bullish right now. I'll mark up a couple of lines as to where I think price might reach immediately, and that's this area of supply right there. We had some candles close there on 1 hour time frame. Okay. And then on 30 minutes is just wicks for the most part. So again, price is pretty quick right now, so we have to be careful around it. Good to hear from you, Hayan. So it's your first session. We'll make sure that we'll do a bit of a recap as to what we use for trading. So again, we let's see if there is any opportunity first. Okay. I'll try to do scalping, as I said, based on RSI, based on some fibs and so forth. It's going to be super short scalping, I'll be honest with you. So if you guys are going to be placing similar trades, make sure to kind of keep up because we'll be getting in, getting out very frequently. I don't want anyone to be stuck in a specific trade that we get out of, trying to hold on to it, hoping, it will go your direction. So be careful when we will be placing trades. As always, we are trading with our $25,000 deposit account. We are around what the balance is right now. Let's check. Balance is roughly 37,200 for the beginning of this session. So hopefully we get out of the session with a plus. Now, I'd love to get into a sell, but I'm a couple minutes late into it. So what we will see if we can do, I'll see if we can buy into that trade. Okay, it's a bullish trend. I'll see if we can buy into the continuation to those hourly candles that we marked up. So all I'm looking is to get into a buy very quickly, somewhere around this area here. Okay, and it is a pretty extended target. I'm probably not going to keep it that much, but if we get some nice momentum, that would be very good. Okay, so this zone right here where price consolidated over here, that would be a very good entry to have. Okay, so bullish entry from that area. Again, I'm not gonna be overcomplicating the analysis, just be going based on my gut for the most part. Simply for a reason that, look, we've had a bullish New York session. Okay, bullish one, obviously, that's the federal funds rate movement, and we closed pretty bullish. We've consolidated, and Tokyo has started going up, right? So we have 8 p.m. momentum that's starting right now. We'll just try to go with the momentum unless price tells us otherwise. Of course, we don't want to be caught up in the wrong move, right? So for people who are new, for my friend Hayan who's joining, etc., we are marking up certain levels on our trading view chart. We do mark up the weekly level, right? So we opened up our week with a weekly candle right here. It's blue color I used horizontal ray, okay? And I just click on it, use the magnet, and I pop it at the bottom of the candle, right? So weekly candle we have right there, and we have the candle from previous week right here, okay? I can even mark up this one too, just as a point of reference, 42, 46, because we've been hovering around it for a bit now, okay? Now, daily candle, same story, purple candle right here on a daily level, and we have some other candles such as previous week open, these blue wicks candle, but it's pretty far. Again, we have hourly, but hourly is not relevant right now because it's the same as weekly, previous week. So it's within the same range. Okay. I'm not going to use too many lines right here. So we'll just keep it nice and clean. But the main idea is that we're using the RSI, our indicator, right? That shows us whether it's a good time to buy or not. And right now on a 1 minute time frame is a bit too high for my liking, but we might enter anyways. And then on 3 minute it's pretty good, right? So it's within my area of entry. I'll try to get into a trade and then we'll see how it goes. Again, guys, I'm not going to be updating, take profits, stop losses as we go. It's just going to be live call out, right? And then if I'm going to exit, I'm going to let you guys know. You'll see it on the screen, okay? It's within the 50%, so I'll keep my stop tight around $3.50 or 30 pips. And then we'll try to aim for the upside momentum, okay? Because again, we've stalled with that candle. You see, it's moving up now. So I'll try to jump into that. I'll go into the buy with one lot, and I will place my take profit just at the high for now, and then stop loss around 38-ish. Again, don't want to take too much loss if I'm wrong, okay? No, take profit on the upside, stop loss to the downside around 38-ish. There you go. That's our first trade. We'll see how that plays out and we'll take it from there. Okay, step by step, gradually. If we are wrong, we might change our direction if the price breaks below this area here. Okay, so we have this protected low right there, right? Consider it a liquidity grab or whatsoever. It pretty much retested these highs for the most part. So as if we break these, I might change my bias and I might start selling into the price action, depending on how it behaves. But for now, it looks pretty bullish to me. So we're just going to try to buy off of the level, right? Again, this consolidation zone, plus we had the big move to the upside on 8 p.m. I mean, it's not huge, but it's pretty decent, right? It's 120 pips, which is a lot after the FOMC meeting. So we'll try to catch that. And as you guys can see, right, it's moving pretty nicely to the upside. So I will dare to extend my target to 42.51-ish. Okay. If anything, I'll just close a little bit early and I'll let you guys know. Okay. 51-ish. Okay. There you go. And it's live trade management also, so maybe it will help some people to see how I manage the trade, right? Since we got the momentum right here off of this area, off of this whole zone, right? I will actually reduce my stop loss as well. Roughly, it's still going to be at a loss, but it's going to be reduced slightly. So as the trade progresses, I gradually move my stop loss around. Again, for now, it's still going to be below the targeted area, but we might move it more to the upside as the price develops to the upside also. Okay. That's going to be the idea for active trade management. Okay. Let's admit some more people as we go. Again, these times, after FOMC, price might be pretty volatile, but all I'm looking to see if we can get all the way to these wicks, right? All the way to this 1 hour candle. If we do, if the momentum is strong, we might break out through this high, but we'll have a look as to what's going to happen specifically in this scenario, right? We might just consolidate throughout the session. If we do that, the consolidation would be back to the daily open where we started, right? So based on that, we could also place a trade within the range, and the range is pretty nice, I'll be honest with you. It's already almost 200 pips range, right? So we'll play within that. But let me explain once again let me ask if there are any other beginners. We have 25 people roughly right now. How many of you guys here are beginners? How many of you guys here are first time on the stream? specifically with myself, just so I understand whether I need to dive a little bit more in depth into my strategy and into my approach. Let me know. Okay, Chris is here first time. ODS, first time. ODS, I've seen you before. I've seen you before. Yeah, I remember your name. Okay, good. And let me actually bring out my rules that I use that will be for our new people here. Okay. It's it's rather simple, so I try not to overcomplicate it too much, especially for our beginners. Less is more in our situation, right? And you guys can see, right, that the less rules you have, as long as they're strong rules, the better it is going to be for you. Number one, it's a risk management rule, right? So let's just clarify. If you have $1,000 in your account, you want to make sure you're not risking too much, but you also want to make sure you don't risk too little, right? So that your efforts are rewarded properly. So in our case, again, my case is $35,000 account. So I risk $350 to $700. That's 1 to 2% of my account. On $1,000 account, you can risk 10 to 20 bucks, right? Roughly, per trade. While you're learning, especially, it's important that you manage your capital properly. Okay. So for now, make sure to stay within the risk management. After you learn, after you improve your skill, you can increase to 5% roughly, right? Again, the more confident you feel, the better you're going to be, right? But for now, 1 to 2%, and then you can increase it to 5 as you feel more confident and more comfortable. Okay, so risk management is rule number one. Then number two, again, we look at the market trend. You don't need to be, heavily educated or an expert to see where the price is going. We're checking different time frames. So on 1 minute time frame, or sorry, on 1 hour time frame, we are simply ranging, right? But we can see that we've been going up for the past 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 hours, right? So for the past 6, 7 hours, we've been on the upside. That should give you indication clear enough that it's a good idea to buy, right? On smaller time frames, it could be different, but for now we're going up. That's the general market trend. Again, you don't need to have you don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand that. Relative strength index, as I explained, it's a stochastic RSI that I use, not a standard RSI, right? So when you open up your charts as a beginner, there are 3, 4 things that you need to look at and make your decision based off that. Okay. You see a chart, you see a trade, you check your RSI. On 1 minute, especially if you like want to quickly get in, quickly get out, you have like half an hour, 40 minutes, 1 hour to trade, you don't have the whole day, right? What do? You check the RSI. If it's too high or if it's too low. As I mentioned in my previous session, this blue zone is no trade zone, right? Meaning we don't get into a trade as long as it's in between. So we want to snipe those entries, right? And we want to have the best one possible. The one where the price is very high right here, right? Above the blue line. Or on the other side, if it's below the blue line right there, that's when we want to enter as well into a trade. So like right now, it's getting below the blue line, so it might be a good idea for me to enter into buys for it to go up. Please let me know if you guys understand the RSI. Very important. I want to once again explain the whole concept clearly, especially for our beginners. Below the blue line, below the blue box, we want to be buying for it to go up. Above the blue box, it's too high. The price is too high, right? It needs to go down, so we want to be selling. Okay? Simple as that. Let me know if you guys are clear on that RSI concept. Let's actually do this. I'll buy one more, just because RSI is pretty low and we have a reasonable fib tap. Again, might be wrong here, but I would love to add to that trade and my stop loss might be hit. Okay, I moved it. Good timing. I'll buy one more, okay? And I'm not gonna be as ambitious anymore with my target. I'll put this one down here at the previous high, and I'll put this one here, the lower one, around the same area there, okay? Just around there. I want to be careful not to get stopped out. So my second entry is around 40.76, okay? 40.76. somewhere around here, okay? I'll be targeting the highs for now, right? If it moves up aggressively, that's fine. I'll move my entry. Okay, so RSI is clear. That's good, good. Chris is asking, any specific setting for RSI? Which one is TradingView to choose? Good question. Love it. And let me clarify. So I want to put my stop loss just below like 37, just so I don't get stopped out, okay? Bear with me, guys. Even though I'm taking high risk on this trade, I'm comfortable to do so because it's more so a scalping session. But we'll see how that plays out. Again, what I don't like here is that we've created this the high, the low, the lower high, and now lower low. What I'm hoping for that this is a mini structure within this bigger structure, right? So I'm hoping we're just establishing a higher low within this big bullish move, right? So I might be wrong, and then we started this series of mini lower highs and lower lows, but we'll see if there is a reaction off of this area here, right? This one 71, 76, so we'll move that zone here, right? That's where the whole move started. That's where there is a bit of a gap, right? Fair value gap. So we'll see if that is the case and if we can get a nice reaction off of that. If not, that's fine. We'll say we're wrong and we'll move on to the next trade because again, losses are part of the game. It's impossible to avoid them. But I'm showing you guys some real live trading that is possible to do. Okay. Now for the RSI, Chris, no specific setting. Okay. I literally let me delete this one. Okay. I remove this red box. Literally delete it. Right. You go into indicators and you search for RSI. Okay, RSI, and you look for the stochastic RSI. Okay, stochastic RSI, right? That one, not a relative strength index, not an RSI strategy, not Connor's RSI, stochastic RSI. Click on it, it will be added to your screen. Keep it as it is. Okay, no need to deviate from the standard one that you were provided with. And we have Akshara here. Akshara, I hope you're doing good. Hope learning is going good. Akshara actually won one-on-one training session with myself, and we're still setting her up for that. She's going through a bit of a learning on the courses that we have on the platform. So hope you find this session helpful, actually. This is something similar to what we would do one-on-one. So feel free to ask any questions actually along the way. The more, the merrier. I'll be happy to answer any. So again, RSI, we're clear. It's a standard RSI, nothing out of the ordinary. We got that, right? So once again, we are within that sniping range, right? I like that we are down here, meaning it's a good buying opportunity. There was a good buying opportunity before that as well, right? And you can see when it was down here, again, it can stay there for extended period of time. Notice how I'll show you guys here. Vertical line. We reached the bottom of the RSI, but after that, the price went down a little bit more, right? But it did indeed go up afterwards. So it's not a guarantee that you catch the bottom if RSI is at the bottom, right? It can stay there for extended period of time. All it's saying that it is a good area. It's a better area than in between. It's a better area than high up, right? So if you choose an area, RSI will confirm with you as to where you can enter. Okay. I don't like that it's reaching 78. It is behaving pretty bearish. I might get stopped out on one of my trades, unfortunately, but hey, that's okay. Part of the game. Let's add some more people here. I'd love to see a reaction from here. So let's actually check something. 5-minute time frame. The only concern of mine that this could be a manipulation, right? So I got stopped out on one of the trades, unfortunately. We'll cover that. We'll cover that. It could be the manipulation. What is this blue line that I have? Let's see. Okay, so that is that's the weekly high, right? So that's the weekly high that we touched, right? From overall weekly all-time highs. But that's okay. I will actually re-enter here. That will be one of my last long re-entries. And if I'm wrong, that's fine. We'll reassess. But I'll just put it just below the lows and hope that we can come back here. I'll actually adjust my take profits a little bit lower as well as we go to cover for that previous loss. And then if anything, change our buys and start selling. But what I don't like here, unfortunately, is that we've created the series of lower highs and lower lows on 1 minute, right? So we're still within that 78 RSI, but if we break this wick here, might be a manipulation once again. You need to understand how the price action behaves, right? But we'll have a look. We'll literally analyze it live as we go. So RSI concept is clear. That's good. Let's clarify the fib concept, right? So fibs, we're using them right here. Okay. Let me actually clarify that we got stopped out on one, but we're keeping the second one all the way to these lows. And we've added one more trade at 38-ish. So we added one more. Okay. Um, right there. And then again, similar stop out area. And we're going to target these highs right here. Okay. So there, I'm gonna move our TP a little higher right there for 600 and this one for 300. Okay, good. Something like that. So on that note, Fibonacci, right? Let's talk about that. Standard Fibonacci for the most part, different people use it differently, right? So fibs will help you understand where to place your targets, especially when the price moves in waves. Okay. So for example, if you measure this move here from the bottom, moves up, 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 up to the top. So we're trying to measure this whole move, right? And we're trying to understand how much down is it going to go before it continues to the upside? Let's try and understand that. That will help. That will be done with the help of fibs, right? So we use the Fibonacci retracement, fib retracement right there. Actually, remove it from favorites. There you go. Fib retracement and click on it. Again, mine is pretty set up, right? So you measure it from the bottom to the top. Yours might look a little bit different, but we can actually, let me see. Bear with me a second. So this is my, do I have a saved layout, template, save as, uh, main one. So I'll show you guys how it looks like originally, okay? Apply defaults. There you go. This is how it looks like originally, and it's ugly. It's a bunch of rainbow colors, which I don't like, right? So, and it's reversed, right? So you notice how it's kind of giving you targets to the downside for some reason because it's 1.6, 2.6, and so forth. So for those of you who will set up your Fibonacci from scratch, okay? That's your Fibonacci from scratch, literally. So what you'll do is you will click on it and you'll go into settings, you remove point two, and you remove all of these threes and fours, and so we'll change the two to 0.618, and we'll change. Actually, it's going to be negative 0.618, okay? And then it's going to be negative 0.21, okay? So now it's going to get nicer, okay? The targets are to the upside now, okay? And then after that, we will use background and we'll remove that. We don't need no colors. And we'll remove the trend line. We don't need that side trend line. No. So we only need pretty much the lines that highlight for us as to where is it going and where is it going to go. Okay. So if we measure this from bottom to the top, and actually we need to change these lines, right, where the values are to the right-hand side. So labels are going to be on the right-hand side, right there, right on the middle. Okay. So guys, as we go through fib a little bit, price is moving lower, unfortunately, which I'm not liking. So the stops are out. So far, again, full accountability, we're down 1.2K, okay, which is not great. It's above the risk because I doubled down on the trades, right? I'm roughly risking around 700, but we'll cover that. Trust me on that. Cover that. What I would like to do, honestly, from this area here, because RSI is still low, I'm gonna enter one long with two lots. Okay, I'm gonna be stubborn like that. And I'm gonna place my TP around the same area, okay? And my stop loss going to be just below that wick once again. Okay. So I'm doubling down in terms of lot size just because we had a bit of a loss and that loss needs to be covered. There is no reason for me to think to turn bearish, right, per se, because let me clarify here. We're too late to sell. Okay, so we might have sold here at the top to the downside. Yes, that was possible. But from here, you're not selling. You cannot sell from there, right? It's too late to sell. The only thing that you could be doing from this area is buying or doing nothing, right? For the purpose of trading session, we'll be buying, but two options from here. Either buy or do nothing. You cannot be selling from this area because there is no indication for sales right now, right? There could have been one here, yes, but not the other way around. Okay, so the only way to go right now is either to go buys and expect further long continuation, or again do nothing and wait for the price to give you certain conditions for you to re-enter. Okay, but again, for the fibs at that stage is just about colors. The only thing I'll just add is 0.71. Okay, 0.71, and you just play around with the colors, right? I use just, colors that are not too catchy in terms of your eye, right? Just different colors for different level so you can keep track of it, but also at the same time, something like that, right? And 21s are orange for me and 61s are orange for me. Boom, there you go, right? Oh, sorry, 28, fine, 21. There you go. Okay, and let's compare it to my current fib that I have, main one. There you go. Same thing. At the end of the day, mine is just a little bit thinner. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. That's how we use the fibs, right? And that's how we set them up. Okay. Mine are pretty thin. I just use them as reference levels. That's about it. But let me know if you guys have questions. And was that clear on how we set up the Fibonacci's? Devinder is asking why it's not a good idea to sell. Good question, Devinder. So for you to sell, you also need to have confluence, right? Devinder, is the market trend to the downside? No, not just yet, right? Because we have a support area right here, right? That's from where we started the bullish momentum, right? And overall, the trend was up, okay? RSI is low, right? Fibonacci alignment. There is no Fibonacci to tell you that there is a sell opportunity, right? So let's remove these trades right here. Remove this one. Boom. So there is no Fibonacci to tell you that we have to sell. There is no RSI that is high up that tells you to sell. And there is no market trend that tells you to sell, right? On top of that, if you check Zonar, Zonar is actually telling you to buy as well because we're reaching the fair value gaps and we're reaching the order blocks that are bullish, so forth, right? So tell me the reason to sell, right? Convince me otherwise, in other words, right? If you see the reasons to sell, you can tell me maybe there is something that I don't see, right? But overall, I don't see a reason to sell. There is either staying on the sideline or buying. If you see enough confluences to buy, if you feel comfortable buying, again, when you're buying, you're also taking some risk, right? The way we are, right? So keep that in mind. This whole fib can be measured from the bottom to the top right here. And there is a possibility that we will come lower here and bounce from there, right? Or come lower here and bounce from there. That's possible, right? But I would be looking to buy at these areas. I wouldn't be looking to sell right now to take a bit of a step to the downside, if that makes sense, right? I try to follow some rules that I created for myself, and by no means the system is perfect, right? Don't get me wrong. I make mistakes too, right? As you can see, stop out, right? That's okay. We could have been selling, somebody will tell me, but I had no reasons to sell at that point in time, right? So for now, for example, unless we reach this next level of 61, I'm gonna stay out, but I'm gonna take another stab at buying at that level, if that makes sense, right? Jomar is asking, is it 1 minute time frame for a fib? Jomar, you can use fibs on any time frame, right? It does not matter. Any time frame is fine for Fibonacci's. They're there on any time frame, right? I'll show you the 1 hour time frame, right? This one here. This move from the bottom to the top. Retracement, move up, right? This can be measured by fibs as well. There you go, right? Clear as day. Moves up, comes down to 71, 78 fib, gets to the top, gets to 27 target, gets to 61 target. Takes time on 1 hour time frame, right? On 15-minute time frame, I can find you a bunch of fibs examples, right? As long as you see them, as long as you understand them, you will see fibs everywhere. They are present in any trend, in any condition, right? For example, here, right? The cells that we've been taking and so forth, you measure it, right? From the top to the bottom, you see the 50% and you see the fib targets, right? So on any time frame from top to bottom to 50 to 27 to 61, that's the move. And then you extend it further, right? From this high, from over here where we topped to the bottom, right? Once again, same story. The top, bottom, the 61%, the 27 extension, the 61 extension right there, right? So fibs are present on any time frame. This is just measuring how price moves, right? Price moves consequentially, right? Anything that goes up, goes down needs to go up, right? Only concern right now is that we broke the low, but I would love to buy more because I'm not convinced with this bearish price action. It's probably just moving lower for a deeper retracement than what we initially expected here, right? And taking out this liquidity before it continues going higher. That would be my personal expectation, unless we range for the rest of the day. We could, for the rest of the night, right? For the rest of the trading session, at least. So, once again, we don't know if the price will go into price discovery in terms of current session, but I'd like to hope so because it will give us some nice momentum. See, try to hit another buy now with the 3 lot. Okay, more active. Boom. And then again, it will be a very tight stop loss in this case, just below the lows, and take profit all the way up there, roughly. Okay. So again, with these type of trades, even though I might be wrong, but I'm gonna be wrong small. But if I'm gonna be right, I'm gonna be right big. Okay? That's the approach. If we catch the recovery to the upside, that will be nice, right? And what we can do here, actually, if we expect some further downside momentum back to the daily open, what we can do now at this stage is actually measure this whole move to the downside. Again, keep in mind, we've had this series of lower highs and lower lows on super tiny time frame, right? So the high, the low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? So what we need right now is for the price to break this in order for us to turn bullish confidently again, right? But I'm just willing to take some of those stabs with the buys to remove some of these trades just so we have a cleaner chart. And we will use the fib one more time to the downside, right? So this 38% right here, if we break that, we will continue going higher towards these areas right here, these highs, right? That's where we can get to, okay? Good question from Chris. Which level in fib is the ideal entry? So there are different levels, right? And there is no ideal one, right? The perfect one is that the one that aligns with your other areas of interest, right? So if this one aligns with a zone, and if by the time price reaches here, my RSI is high up there, right? And we consolidate, that's a perfect entry, right? But if, for example, RSI gets up, right? And we only reach somewhere here. I'll be happy to take a stab at 61 to the downside as well. No problem, right? So again, a deeper retracement would be desirable, would be more optimal in that case, right? Somewhere around these zones, 61, 71, 78. Those are better areas of interest for us than say 38 or 50%, right? So around 61, 71, 78, that's where I would be more lenient to get into a trade, but what's more important is how price behaves around that area. How price, whether price stalls, whether price breaks through that area, right? So it's very important how price behaves once it reaches a certain level. Okay. Would love for this to come to the upside. Let's check NASDAQ in the meantime if they're doing anything interesting. NASDAQ being one hell of a player tonight. Some buys on NASDAQ would be good. Yeah, so I think so. One second. Again, sometimes I would look at the clean chart and make decision based on that. But let's see if we can do that. Bear with me, guys. Quotes. Where is it? Chart. Okay, there you go. Bear with me. I'll take a stab at NASDAQ 693 to 735 as well. I'll do like bigger position size around like 20. Take profit 730-ish, all the way there. Stop loss would be at the lows, roughly there. Okay. It's not a huge trade on NASDAQ. It's like $300 risk at this stage because NASDAQ is less volatile than gold right now. But again, at the same time, manage your position size, right? Manage your risk. Let's check what's happening on gold one more time. It's slowly going to the downside. Let's see. It's kind of losing the momentum, right? Volatility is going away right now and it's just stalling. But I'd say it's good, right? It's not moving to the downside quick, meaning it's stalling to recover and start going to the upside, right? So that's fine for me. Appreciate it, TJ. Again, I apologize, guys. We did not have like crazy profitable trading day so far, right? But Nasdaq is doing good so far. But again, it's not always about the, money making or showing you guys, hey, look, I made this much or that much, right? Sometimes losses happen. It's part of the game. But most importantly, you guys learn something from this. Trade management, risk management, etc. Even though I'm taking losses that are pretty big, but again, it's nothing that would bother me on or concern me too much, right? So let's do this. As long as we break above actually this high right here, I'll add to that trade with target to 71. That would be nice. What we need is a change of character right now, okay? We've had pretty much since the beginning of our trading session, right? Just to clarify, guys, started 8, and all we've had is pretty much this 3, 4 bullish candles and then just series of lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So we got caught up in a bit of an unfortunate downtrend here, while again looking for buys. But it's again part of the story. It's okay because overall trend is bullish. I like that we've tapped this green zone and we're going up from there, right? And the thing is, when we started taking our first long around this area here, it was not a downward trend just yet, right? So we only started to do first move to the downside, and then we started doing that, right? So you could not predict as to what's going to happen, but you can find the zones of interest from where you could best position yourself into a trade. So now that we broke above this high, I'll actually add to my trade to cover for the loss, make an extra profit, and get out of the session green, right? I think the bullish momentum can go up from here. One thing also, guys, right? I think it's important. Um, Chris is asking market execution or pending entry. Chris, it's always a market execution for me. I never place pending entries simply for the fact that I don't know what the price is going to do or how the price is going to behave at that particular area, right? All I know is how price is behaving and how price is developing right now. So it's important that, again, for me personally, that I place market orders, right? You guys might want to place limits if you like to do so, or if you feel like there is a certain zone that's very powerful or, good. But again, All I'm saying is, for me personally, I'm trying to go with a hunch. Okay. Again, this buy trade is doing pretty good so far. What is that? 500-ish and profit again. I don't want to take away from the fact that we've lost 1.2K so far, but I'll tell you this much. If we go up to this area, 42, 44-ish, right over here, that's 2.5 grand right there, right? So that covers for the loss and that adds a little bit more, right? So I'm fine with that, right? Keep in mind that, again, you cannot be perfectly right all the time, and sometimes you can get caught in a series of bad trades. But most importantly is how you recover from that, how you manage your risk, how you manage your losses emotionally as well. Are you going into revenge trading? Are you trying to do some irrational decisions, right? Quickly go into some weird trade that's against your plan, right? So following all those rules is pretty important. What I want to see here, guys, price to come back and retest before it continues higher. That would be lovely. So if anyone missed the entry, I think that will be a very good trade. Let's actually pop that in. Where is that? Right there. Okay. Bring that here. Hopefully that makes sense for people on the stream. Okay. Let me know guys if you're following me, if everything is clear. We have 40-ish people on the stream. Is everything clear? Do we understand the concepts? Even though your coach DB today is not winning every single trade, but hey, hopefully coach DB is teaching you something good. 42.35-ish. Wish I could type as fast as price moves up. 42, 33, and then 42, 40, 42, 44, and 42, 48. That will roughly be our targets, okay? So TP1 is going to be 40, and then 44, and then 48 right here. Extended target all the way there, okay? Keep that in mind. How we doing? Okay, I didn't get a chance to re-enter on that bearish candle, but the price is moving up nicely. Again, most important thing is the bias, right? If your bias is clear for you, even if you take a loss, that's okay. Most important, guys, in trading journey, follow your instinct, follow your gut, follow your plan, trade your plan, and plan your trade, right? Like, I don't care I took the losses. I'll be honest with you guys. I was bullish. I had the reasoning for it. I was confident in what I was doing. It doesn't mean I'm wrong or I'm stupid or I'm doing something not right or I'm managing my risk wrong. No. Yeah, you'll see a bunch of losses. That's okay, right? Part of the game, part of the journey, especially the fact that I clarified that we're gonna do some scalping today, right? But most importantly is you guys follow the plan, right? Does it align with what you guys think? On 3-minute time frame, we are looking good. RSI is pretty low. RSI is pretty low on the 5. So this could actually turn out to be amazing trade with extended targets all the way there at 55, right? If I kept that trade, I'll probably be ridiculous profit, right? Like 4 or 5 grand right there on the spot. I'm obviously not going to do that. But the point being is if you keep a runner, small percentage of your trade, like we discussed with Ali on the previous trading sessions, that you take out gradually 30%, 30%, 30%. So keeping one lot to 55, that's also going to be very nice, right? Okay, so the vendor is following. That's good to hear. TJ saying we can't win them all, coach. As long as we learn, we never lose. That's true. Okay, Audia is following. Dan is loving the training. Dgens is there. Hey, appreciate it, Dgens. Appreciate it. As a brand, appreciate your support, brother. Thank you so much, yeah. Jomar is asking where can you replay the trading recording? So we're working on it with a team. I requested our regional manager to add a section for me where I can upload the videos. I have the recordings from the previous sessions, so I'll do my best to get it out for you guys by the end of this week. Or oh, it's Aaron. All right, Aaron. I apologize, brother. I thought it was Brent for some reason. Because me and him spoke yesterday, but that's all right. Good to see you, Aaron. Yeah, so I'll have a chat with our regional manager, person who's having a look around PrimeVerse and overseeing a lot of aspects of it, and I'll ask them to add me a section with the recordings so I can actually upload the previous sessions for you. I don't think many people will watch it, but I just want it to be there. Okay. I'd love to get another entry, just a little bit lower, maybe. You know what? I'll actually add just one. Okay. Ah, that was a little late, but that's okay. I'll add it there and just exit towards my take profit on the main trade. Okay. Or actually, we can keep it as a runner a little bit to the upside, 48-ish. But if you guys bought around the 33 area or whatever, make sure you put your stop loss to break even, right? Because my first trade is around 35, the big one, right? So it will only make sense to put the stop loss to break even on that one, right? I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna keep it at the lows, just in case. But hey, for you guys, protect your capital, most important. Okay. My target would be around 71, these highs right there. Once again, we got the chart pretty dirty, if you ask me, right? But we'll just clean it up for a second. We know the targets, we understand where we expect it to go. Let me know, guys, if you have any questions. Please, anything unclear? Akshara, I was hoping for your comment. I appreciate you actually letting me know how you feel. So Akshara is saying it's helpful for a beginner, and it's her first live training session, and then she received a lot of information. Akshara, you're most welcome. I'm very happy if you learned something new from tonight, right? Keep in mind, trading is a long, long journey. It's not a one day, right? It's a matter of multiple days, multiple trading sessions. We need to understand for ourselves that you don't become rich overnight. What you do is you build your confidence, you build your fluidity in the markets, and you build your experience. The more experienced you are, the less you need to trade to make good amount of money, right? So use this time wisely to actually learn the concepts, understand new things for yourself, maybe learn from my mistakes, right? What to do, what not to do, right? Hopefully you can tell yourself, hey, Coach Dennis did this. I wouldn't do it. I would do it otherwise. And that's fine, right, guys? I'll be clear with you guys. When I was learning 8 to 10 years ago, I would take a little bit from every coach that I learned from, right? But I wouldn't necessarily follow everything they say. Because I'll be honest with you, not everything worked perfectly for me what they did, right? And it's important to kind of pick and choose as to what do you think works best for you? What aligns with your approach, right? I'm here to teach you guys the concepts that I use, but please feel free to adjust it and make it yours, right? Feel free to say, hey, look, I'm gonna tweak it here, tweak it there. I'm actually, for example, you would say, hey, Coach D took one loss, two, three, four losses, right? I would probably take a break and then re-enter later. That would be a very wise thing to do, right? So hopefully, hopefully you guys can make adjustment that would fit yourself. Ali's asking, do you expect a reaction from 48 to 59? That's a huge range, Ali. I know what you mean. Okay. Yeah, so I would actually expect 48 to 59. I don't know why 59. I see. I see that's the wick. Yeah, so it's possible just based on how the candles reacted here, right? When we break the 48, 46, we go up quick. We go up quick every time, right? So there is low liquidity in this area, meaning price will travel from one area to another, right? Hence why if you guys are holding your buys, make sure to just exit gradually. I would definitely take some profits around 46-ish and then leave the rest up until like 56, right? Just in case we're like lucky or whatever, right? And price just pops to the upside. So you see a point of interest in that zone, but which zone, Ali? The 48 or 59? That's a very big zone, right? Where do you see point of interest? Give me a specific price point.
Yeah, I mean, what I meant was I saw a an order block in that zone. So, like in that zone, I was expecting it to possibly consolidate and then do a change of character to the bottom and then go bearish. So, if I think if you go to 15-minute time frame, that's where you're gonna see the order block. So that
Is it
was
is it is it this one?
no, the that big candle on the top.
Or this one?
Exactly, yes.
I see what you're saying. It could be consolidation area, right? But again, last thing you want to be is in a consolidation range, right? Stuck in that, right? Especially at the top, because you see, my vision of the chart is don't forget that again, this is the high within this area as well. There is this big area that's untapped, right? But my vision is always it's about how price gets there and how price behaves, how price expands into that area. So this all of this area is definitely an order block, and it's actually highlighted by zone R2, the bearish order block, but I don't know if it will consolidate or if it will just quickly shoot down, right? Was it news? Yeah, it was probably some news there. But the point being is we need to understand how price develops right around that area. But it is definitely something that could be a point of interest in terms of change of character and just price coming back down, right? Around towards the mid of the range. Don't forget, guys, I don't think there is going to be a Santa rally or something like that. Many people are expecting that we will just rally back to all-time highs. I don't think so. I honestly think we'll stay within the whole range for the most part. If we break out, we break to the upside and come back down anyways, right? So I don't expect a huge bull market in the next 2 weeks or so. But yeah, Ali's point is right. This whole area here, right, and it's extending all the way there, is an area from where price could reverse, but it's just too wide of an area for me to, say I'm gonna take a sell there. That's 100 pip range. So if I would be taking a sell, I'd be trying to take it at like 54 or like 63. And again, depending on how price behaves. So to Ali's point, he mentioned he's looking for change of character. Let me show you. So what Ali is saying, right? A change of character is if we have this price action, right? And then we start consolidating here, right? And then we break it, and then we retest it. This could be a nice area for short, by all means, because we've broken this whole trend with this area here, right? So as soon as we have a change of character, by all means, on a retest, it would be a nice sell. Absolutely. It's like 9 p.m. I'm probably gonna go to sleep at like 11. So I'm probably not gonna stay there for the rest of the session, Tokyo or something like that. But Ali, if you catch it, send it over to me on PrimeVerse or on Insta. We'll
Yeah,
post it or something, yeah?
yeah. It might happen a week next week, who knows?
No, next week is too
No.
far, but hey, in any case, let me know how it
Yep.
goes. Obviously, we're gonna be here next Monday, so keep me posted on that. Yeah, because I'll probably forget
Yep.
about it, but you remember about it, okay?
Yeah, well, happens something similar to that happened yesterday. But it happened at 12:45 or 12 or maybe 1 o'clock.
At night?
So, yeah, yeah, yesterday did took liquidity and then came back for a retest, and it was a very simple trade, and then
This
that's
one
it.
here?
Yeah, right there.
I see, I see, I see, I see. Yeah,
Very,
yeah. But
very nice trade, yeah.
very good one. Very good one. Again, I would probably just look at the fib here, right? Boom, boom. 71% plus tapping into this area here.
With the breaker
Love,
block, yeah.
yeah. Hey, this is smart money. I'm an old dinosaur, don't forget it, yeah, man. Breaker blocks, all of that. That's too much for me. It's rather simple for me here, right? Pretty much. Again, I could use a couple concepts, right? We broke this low, right? So change our character in a way from this whole trend here, right? Got the low, started started creating a downside action, and then pretty much swap the liquidity from this area. RSI is high, fib is there, boom. Nice 27 and nice 61 tap. By all means, but I would not have enough patience to stay through the night to keep that trade, if you know what I mean. But an amazing, amazing example from Ali. Okay, let's see. What are we doing? Anything fun? Guys, I wish I had more trading opportunity. You know what? I don't like how it behaves here. I might go for a sell, actually. Uh, I don't like how it's topping out. I mean, Ali, what do you think? Would you take a sell here
From there, um, I mean,
from
market
where
is
we
a
are now?
still, well, market is a still bullish. I mean, for me, I'd rather not, to be honest. I would just
Fair.
take buys. Yeah.
Fair. Okay, good we align on that. But my concern is the candles and their pattern, right? So when I see this slow down and kind of these wicks, it shows me the exhaustion of the bull move, right? I'd love to see a more explosive bullish momentum, which is it's not. So let's see. Let's see how this trade is doing. I'm still struggling to understand how to close the trades on MetaTrader on the computer, but I'll do it on my phone. And let's see how much are we in for tonight. Yeah, don't like it. Close the one lot buy. Actually, we'll keep the one lot. I'll close the bigger one. Boom. There you go. I'll close that just to secure myself. Keep that buy. But I'll actually open up a sell here. Oh, bear with me, guys. I know it's towards the end of the session, but I still want to pop a trade for you guys. So, again, the reason I'm looking into a sell, right, is the way the candle's behaving. I don't like it, right? So we're exiting the big long, and I don't like how RSI topped out, right? So RSI was topped out, started moving, but the price didn't move lower, so that's concerning. And then if we check, this is around 50% right there. Tap into 50%, right? So could be an area from where price can go down lower. So we'll see what's gonna happen. TG is asking, Coach, don't you think for Christmas shopping, lots of people buy gold in the next couple of weeks, I'd assume? TJ, I'll be honest with you, man. Last thing I think people will go and buy is gold. Right? And just to clarify, gold prices are not driven by people shopping for it during Christmas, right? This is pennies in comparison to the volume that's traded on gold. This is billions and trillions of dollars, right? Traded every day with gold, right? So people buying a gold bar in Costco, a gold coin in Costco or whatever, it's not going to do anything to the price, right? But it's more so about the hedge funds and the big companies that are trading and that are booking their profits, right? At this time of the year. Big companies is the end of December, is the end of the year. What they want is they want to secure their profits. They want to show on their books that, hey, look, there's how much money we made, right? For the whole year of 2024 or 2025, I apologize. And look how much gold has gone up, right? So more, for the most part, more so, what can happen, right? Have a look, guys. Sorry, but Let's be real here. Gold has appreciated by 63% in value to the upside, right? So most of the times there will be actually profit taking. Same for Nasdaq, right? You see how we are consolidating on Nasdaq for the past, I don't know, 10 days, right? This is because no one else is actively buying anymore, right? What they're doing is more so taking profit. If they're taking profit, it doesn't mean that um, it should go down. The fact that somebody's not buying it doesn't mean the price will go down, but all it means is that there is not sufficient energy and flow for the price to continue to push to the upside. So for Nasdaq, I would probably expect for us to just range to the downside. And then if we get some momentum, we will start pushing into the new year, right? That's what I would expect on Nasdaq to happen, right? And then obviously like a proper bull market continuation for the rest of 2026. That would be nice. We have Trump in the office and so forth, right? But again, for now, the New Year's, I just don't see the price pushing higher by a lot for any specific reason. Okay. And same for gold. Same for gold. We've gone up by so much already. It will take a bit of a miracle for the price to just pop to the all-time highs. Okay. This was a very explosive move, explosive momentum. You guys notice how slowly we're moving up. That's actually what I looked at and discussed back during our trading session, right? That was like way back in like November 17th, as you guys can see. I expected for the price to move upside slowly but surely, right? And we're actually reaching this fill that fair value gap in full, but still traded within that whole range, right? People who were here during the trading sessions before that will remember this area. But point being is, especially right now here, there is not much liquidity whatsoever. So keep that in mind. I would think best case scenario, we trade within this range. And if we break out, we come back into the range. Okay. That's what I would expect for the rest of December. Lovely, boring chop chop. Love that. I'm pretty good when it comes to trading in the range. It's easier than trading specific bullish momentum. Okay, guys, it's 9:04. My lady's hungry, so we need to go get dinner. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the training session. I was a little bit wrong about exiting the shorts. I exited them early. So if you guys are, sorry, exiting the longs, I was a little bit wrong. But if you guys are keeping your longs, good job. Right? Obviously, the targets are still there for people who are going long, 44, 48, and then around there, right? But just be careful around the where price might stall, right? And where price might actually start to reverse. So if you are long, please stop loss to break even. I believe Robin just shared a trade idea on gold. Let's actually have a look. Thank you guys. I appreciate everyone's patience and everyone's interest in today's trading session. I hope everyone has an amazing time for the rest of this week. Remember, it's about learning more so than making money at this stage, especially for people who are new. And of course, please don't forget to spend time with your loved ones. Okay. Robin's idea is actually short. Oh, wait, no, no way. 2 minutes ago, gold short, 41.43. Yeah, look at that. Robin is saying short gold, 42.43, stop loss 48, and TP around 34-ish final. But you see, he is expecting, funny enough, Robin's short idea is from the area where my target is. Okay, so I'd love to see something like that, just so my analysis plays out and Robin's as well. That would be lovely. Okay, guys, thank you all, right? Um, Keep your target conservatives, right? And if price gets there, just make sure to stops to break even and so forth. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your attendance. Hope you learned something new. Feel free to ask any questions, place any comments, reach out to me on socials. We'll be happy to connect with you all and hope you guys have a blessed evening. Good luck and stay with primers. Cheers, guys.